So right now we're talking about the law of polarity. So the law of polarity is everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposite. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. It explains that everything has two poles or opposite aspects. That the opposites are really one of two extremes of the same thing. That many ranges between different degrees of the same. So, law of polarity is just like this. Basically, it's simply put, it is black versus white, north versus the south. It is Democrat versus Republican. It is America versus everyone else. It is the aspect that you're polarizing. Well, that is that whenever the media or situation, they may be polarizing two people on two separate opposite ends. And so this is why you see things or times in the Democratic debate, or you may think that, you know, Republican, some things a Republican you like, some things you like from a Democrat. And you're like, why can't they work together? Is because it's not meant to work together. It's meant to polarize you. That's why you have, you know, Fox News and MSNBC, or you have these two different networks that are polarizing on two different extremes. And that's why you have, like on the media, it's always black versus white. It's not about cops versus a group. It's because cops come in all different colors, shapes, and sizes. And it's not just about, they're polarizing the races, okay? And so that's what it means to polarize certain things. But also in everything, it also is on the line of duality, that everything is dual. So you have night and day, that there is no night without day, that there is no relationship without the other half, that these two things create a whole. It's like having a quarter and having heads versus tails, but we all know that it's all a quarter, that one side is one and it represents, and the other side is just the other side of the same coin. And so that's what it means to polarize or be polarized or having dual thinking. It also means, like in duality, which is a little bit different, duality is, you know, good versus bad. You know, I get a lot of questions on how can God be good and God be everywhere and all-knowing and allow evil. And so you have to take that within its context on how do you define evil. And so when you look at things from a neutral perspective, and so whenever you're dealing with polarity or duality, it behooves you to start looking at it from a neutral standpoint. And so I know that's very hard and shocking, especially when you have very heinous or what seems to be evil things happening in society or in a situation or circumstance. And because it's disagreeable, we now deem that evil. And so one man's good may not be another man's good. But for one man that's really wealthy and more money, more problems, that always accumulated wealth, in his mind, actual physical, like the money aspect of it, may be disagreeable in his life. Though, I see that hard to believe, but I'm just giving an example. So in terms of, you know, for another person's evil, you know, may not be another person's evil. And again, likened to electricity, because I think this analogy really helped me see, you know, how electricity can literally, in a storm, can electrocute somebody and kill somebody and be that person's evil at that moment. Or even fire. If I don't understand the laws of fire and understand that fire has no respecter to my skin, and that if I put it on it, that it's going to burn me. But me being a conscious human being, that I know I can learn and it's discernible, that I have to learn the laws of that element and be a respecter of it. Because if I don't, then it's going to be evil to me, because I'm going to burn myself. I'm not going to know how to use it. I may burn down a house. I may not respect it, and it may then become evil to me. And so the concept of evil versus good, and evil generally, when it has to do at a mainstream thing, always have to do with a sense of ignorance or a lack of knowledge about something. And so again, to that fire, if I don't, as a kid, I may burn myself, but I learn real quick that burns. And as I get older, I may learn other ways to utilize fire to cook or to keep warm. And so, and also I still have to have that same respecter about it. So, the same thing with when we're dealing with certain issues in society, if we don't understand it, we fear it, and it may become our evil if we treat it wrong or mistreat it, and not being a respecter of the laws that have been in place to keep the harmonious peace between us. But I think I'm going to redo this.